Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lindsay over at the Cynical Geek, come to bring you, well, some of my inner ramblings from what's going on with the absolute state of pop culture and whatever else tickles my fancy. Before I get into the topic of today's video, I just want to say a big hearty thank you to everyone that has been liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. My last video, I think, got something about 1.6k views, which is a first in like a long time. And on top of that, I have earned something like 25 subs in this past week. So I cannot express to you guys how grateful I am to all of you that has been sharing my content and trying to get the word out on my channel. And for that reason, I said from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And I hope to add some more content to this channel in the near future if time permits me. But I wanted to discuss this particular topic, and that is well, there seems to be an issue with people in Hollywood who lately, well, let's just say has been going on for the past 6 years or so, I think dating all the way back to the Ghostbusters 2016 controversy, and that is there seems to be a lot of people working in Hollywood that have not been very gracious towards the fan base. And this kind of ties into the last video that I did talking about the drama. Of course, that now is under the bridge, but I wanted to kind of bring up to people the reason why so many people don't have a whole lot of faith in Lucasfilm. And look no further than the more recent controversy surrounding the Indiana Jones Part 5. Are we on 5? Yes, we are on 5. 5 movies, right? Even though I think the first 3 matter, but that's beside the point. But so the 5th Indiana Jones movie went into production just recently. So people have been commenting on the various behind the scenes photos that have been shared. And look, this is not to knock Harrison Ford or any of the cast and crew. I think it's great that Harrison's, putting on the hat and strapping on the boots and getting back into the role. But like many others, I really don't have a whole lot of faith in this movie, considering that Kathleen Kennedy is still heading Lucasfilm and is the helm of this new Indiana Jones movie. And I've also, to my understanding, the person who's writing for the movie has also written Solo, and we all know how Solo went. So there's not a whole lot of good writing going on in this movie. And apparently fans have been expressing their frustration with that. And apparently the director that they got on the movie decided to go on a bit of a tirade with some of these fans, and I'm highlighting obviously one particular tweet from Ryan Cannell. Now, I have been in corporate America for a good part of 20 years, right? Ranging from retail floor to an office setting, and I cannot express how much lack of professionalism I am seeing coming from a lot of these corporations, especially in Hollywood. The last thing you want to do is piss off your fan base, and well, we have been seeing Hollywood doing that time and time again. And I want to stress this. With the current state of the economy, how things are going, Hollywood, you are not going to want to piss off your fan base for very much longer. Your industry is tanking. And the last thing you want to do is to throw away any trust your fans have in you. The last thing you want is to cut off those relationships with those fans. As I hate to break it to you, but you are disposable. Basically, you are a luxury item. Not a whole lot of people really need you that much. And considering the state of the box office, granted, I know there have been some exceptions, but the overall box office has been on the decline even before the pandemic. There's a lot of movies like Ghostbusters 2016 that have tanked. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with how the cast and crew have been treating the fan base. Now, I've been very critical of AMC Networks and the way that they've handled The Walking Dead, but I'll give credit where credit is due. As much as I'm frustrated with what they've done with the franchise, I cannot deny that they still have a pretty decent size loyal fan base, and I think that's for a good reason. And I think a lot of that has to do with AMC and the people involved, especially the cast of The Walking Dead. They I have never seen them once get angry with fans or say anything derogatory towards them. They have been nothing but graceful towards their fans. And that's kind of part and part why I've been a huge fan of The Walking Dead. Granted, I'm not happy with the current state of the franchise, but overall, I still consider myself a fan. This series has a very special place in my heart, and a lot of that has to do with the people involved in the product. Say what you want about the writing, the actors still give it their all, and as I've stated before, they are so gracious to their fans, and I think a lot of people in Hollywood could certainly take cues from these people. So that's just kind of my input on Hollywood, and I'm getting sick and tired of this. I've become so apathetic to Hollywood for this very reason. And if they continue to keep up this game with calling fans the worst names in the book, and instead of just, I don't know, maybe just ignoring the criticism, or at least coming up with some sort of response like, hey, I'm sorry you feel this way, but still, give we ask that you give the movie a chance. They could easily say something like that. It's like, for crying out loud. You know what? Get me on your freaking PR team, is Hollywood, because I think you're going to need some PR reps to kind of help you out, because you guys don't know your asses from your elbows in terms of how to talk to the public. But anyways, before I go ramble on about that, that's just kind of my thoughts on the current state of Hollywood. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this whole mess. Again, I'm going to try to add some more content to this channel in the near future if time permits. But until next time, dear viewers, this is Lindsay, the Cynical Geek, signing off.